Ladies and gentlemen, look. This is the man that's been on some journey. Brendan.
Paul, how's it going? Great to see you again.
Fantastic to have you back.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Great to be back, Paul.
And it's the end of the beginning.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Isn't
That's
it?
a great way to
That's
look
good
at it.
lyric. That's a good lyric. I want 10%,
you can get
10% of that one,
that's
right?
That's yours, Paul.
Right?
That's yours.
Bressy, if you're watching this, right, and you're thinking, oh, Paul Coxford, he's done it again. See, they say the drummers can't write lyrics. We're as heartfelt as the rest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, there's some great drummers with lyrics.
Yeah.
I just can't think of any.
Queen!
Oh, yeah.
Roger Taylor wrote all the lyrics, most of the lyrics.
Did he anyway?
Yes, with Freddie.
And some singer.
Yeah, fantastic.
Who
Who else, Dave?
Falsetto.
The Eagles, Don Henley.
Oh, yeah, well, no. That's the exception to the rule.
The
yeah.
band.
The band as well.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. I'd say Levon Helm, God rest him.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic singer. Oh, look, there's a floating guitar coming up. Come on, here, Brendan, I'll let you get that there. That's it, look. Come on. The floating guitar has arrived.
Oh, God, better check in tune as well. Because you never know
Right.
these things.
That's it. The party continues here. Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan McCahey, of course, is in the final of The Voice. How long has it been, Brendan, the whole journey?
Gee, let me see now, Paul. I think it started in August of last year. That's when it
That's
actually
how back?
Yeah, right back when it began. This is now live show 7, so that's 7 live shows. Then also a blind audition as well. That was where the seats turned around, so that's 8 shows as well. And
Now, sorry, since you were last on, right?
yes,
And had Laura on as well, and loads of people said to me, the blind audition, it is what it is.
yes.
There's no, you don't see them beforehand, they don't see you beforehand, they don't hear you.
No, and the other thing as well is that they go through, like for example, on the blind audition I was on, it was 10 o'clock that night when I was in, and I had been there from 8 o'clock that morning. So auditions opened at 8 that morning, and I wasn't on until 10 that night. That's some going, even on the judges as well, on their ears. Listen to all that different music for that length of time. Of course, I know the breaks in between, but still, it's very demanding on your ears, you know.
And the other one is the likes of the X Factor and Britain's Got Talent and things like that. They have judges for the judges. Mm-hmm. So you go in and audition before these. It's like a pre-audition.
There is.
And then you audition again. But with The Voice, it's the real deal. You're sitting around all day.
Well,
As
actually,
comes with the music business.
yes, that's true. Well, to just to say there too, Paul, there was a pre-auditions before that as well.
Right.
So those people who got through those into the blind auditions had still to go on for another audition before that.
Right.
As I came through 2FM, so I'm the 2FM wildcard, which meant that I had to go to audition in 2FM. And there was about 200 or 300 people there that day as well. So I came through that process where 4 2FM DJs picked me.
All right. Who was the DJs?
So there was Jenny Green,
Yes.
Ruth Scott.
Ruth started on Northern Sound.
Ruth started in Northern Sound.
She did, yes. With my dad, God be good to him, yeah, she did. She's,
And I only met Ruth the week before last as well. A really, really lovely lady too.
Yeah.
Cormac Battle.
Channel side. She was over that far.
Oh yeah, of course.
The other end of the country.
Cormac Battle was
Yes.
the other. And then the last was Dan Hegarty.
Oh, Dan, yeah. Dan's a good man for that.
Yeah.
Sounds.
So yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It was brilliant coming through that way because you were dealing with a lot of people who are used to listening to music and used to listen to voices as well.
Yeah. You've enjoyed every second.
Oh, it's been brilliant, Paul. Yeah, of course I've enjoyed every second. It's been brilliant.
But you've turned it on its head because The Voice, Britain's Got Talent, X Factor, Ireland's Got Talent, whatever, they've come in for a severe knocking over the last couple of years.
You really have, yeah.
But now, The Voice, of Ireland anyway, don't know so much about England, but this one has garnered interest. You can see it on social media, you can see it in the mainstream media, everything. Everyone's talking about Brendan McCahey and the other contestants, Laura May, the whole lot, on The Voice.
Yeah, they are. You know, and they're talking in positive ways as well. About
and it had a shaky start, didn't it? Because there was a few contestants now not
pointing fingers. Or
no. I don't know. That at the beginning, people were looking and going, "Oh, come on," But
You must be
then,
having a laugh. Well, that's a process. They have to go whittle through all those as well. They get down to the last, 6 or 4. But that's the same with every competition.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Only the best are near the end, and that's the reason why they are.
well, again, them other talent shows we were talking about, Britain's Got Talent. Now, the main reason people watch them is to watch the beginning. Is to watch the audition. They don't even know who wins the bloody competition.
Personally speaking, I mean, that's what I love is that part at the beginning where this fella comes on and he's, in his 60s and he's been a hermit for the last 40 years.
There was a woman on the other night being swung around by a young fella on one of them things. I seen it on Facebook. I didn't see it on telly.
Wow.
But it said a woman gets swung round. That's not why I looked at it. That's not why I looked.
Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. But this has been a remarkable journey, Brendan.
Yeah, Paul, it's been really fantastic. Even coming full circle to speaking of the Stripes and the Boys too. I mean, to do a Stripes song and then the next week to be on with you, I'll be actually talking to Josh.
Yeah,
that's kind of amazing. And then the week after that, then to go to their concert, then and to be a guest at their concert. Thank you very much, Paul.
Yeah, well, I can tell you now that they were in Amsterdam the night before last, but Brussels. And I got a message to say, how did Brendan get on? That was on the Sunday night.
That's amazing.
Yeah, how did Brendan get on? What's the story with Brendan? And so that I'm following you when they're over in.
That's amazing.
Over in Europe.
Well, I'm so delighted to, and thank you very much. To the boys
look into the boys and say, yay! But they could surprise you some night.
I'm a Stripes fan.
Brendan, you've got to give us a song.
Well, Paul, what are we going to do?
Before we talk about what you're going to do on The Voice.
Okay.
I want you, because you blew me away when you sang Stevie Wonder on the show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, I want this to sound right, but for anyone to get up and sing a Stevie Wonder song is one thing.
Yes. That's true.
And I don't mean this in any way derogatory to you or anybody else, but for a white person to do it. Because his range is incredible.
Well, it's a funny thing, not to get too technical about it, but Stevie Wonder wrote that song back in the early 70s.
Yeah.
And he was singing it then in the key of F. I seen him there at his 65th or 67 years old, and he was singing it 2 keys up in the key of G. That's kind of even still phenomenal. It was high in F. It's even high, 2 notes higher in G.
It's mad.
And that he still can do it at that age is amazing. He did a version, a slowed down version, and what made that song popular for once in my life was actually Tony Bennett made the song popular. It was him that took it from Stevie Wonder and slowed it down. And Steve and him did a version on YouTube. You want to see that? Oh my God.
I have to say, it was no bother to you.
No, that's true, all right, yes. Well, I of course, I broke it down bit by bit and tried to put my own thing to it as well.
And you certainly did. It was absolutely fantastic. The F word nearly slipped out there. Very, very nearly.
Is very, very fantastic.
It was brilliant because anyone, as a singer, the singers were watching that and were saying to me afterwards,
I've chosen those songs right through the blind auditions and the live shows, the songs that I like, but also singers that I respect, and I've always had an element of taste with it as well, because I am a musician, I love music, and I would only choose something I was really comfortable with, and that I could understand the singer as well,
Brilliant. Tidbit for you now. Jeff Beck was drumming in the studio one day, and Stevie Wonder was with him. This is not a joke, right? They're saying to me on the outside, this is a joke. But he was just messing around on the drums, right?
Yes.
And Stevie Wonder said, "What is that you're doing there?" And he says, "It's just a beat I've got." And he went and wrote Superstition on the drum beat that Jeff Beck was doing.
Because it really is built around it.
Someone's going to ring in now or email me and say it wasn't that, it was something else. Well, it was one of the Stevie Wonder songs. Anyway.
Because it's beautiful, even with, as a drum point of view, that whole flying hi-hat is really lovely part of that song. It's really good.
And I love you. I love anybody that can come in and talk to me about flying hi-hats. I love you. Never mind the singing.
Well, the thing is that I suppose for me, I learned all these instruments. I try and understand where the place is in music and in song too, and that's why I do understand what the bass is doing and guitar and drums are doing, because it's it's important when you're writing songs.
Let's hear the voice. What are you going to do?
Well, you know what, Paul? We were talking about the Cavantv Big Band.
Yes,
what a fantastic band they are.
Yes, and we'll keep that now. I'm going to save that for the end, right? Because got a bit of an announcement there.
Well, of late, I was just going back through some swing music as well, and of course, I'm a huge fan, and one album I always have in the car is the song for Swinging Lovers, or I needed songs for Only the Lonely, Sinatra as well. It's 2:45.
One of the best albums you can never get.
It's amazing. But also it led me on to Bobby Darin as well, a man who came from rock and roll, went into swing, finished off with folk music, and was an amazing man, and died Very young as well.
Very young, and an amazing story too.
And quite an amazing story. Yeah, a really frightfully amazing story.
Heartbreaking.
Oh my God!
Did you see Kevin Spacey playing it? Did you see
I
that?
didn't see the film.
No, don't watch it. Kevin Spacey, fantastic actor. He might be the head of the old Vic and that, but he couldn't do Bobby Darin. Get the real thing, the Bobby Darin story.
Yeah.
With heartbreaking stuff.
Oh,
Real rock and roll.
Real rock and roll.
Because it's tragedy, happiness.
I just said everything.
Mum wasn't his mum, his dad. Well, you got to watch.
Weren't even the ring.
No, it's mad, absolutely mad. And that killed him.
I think it did. I really do think it affected him very badly. Because he had a very weak heart as well throughout his life. But amazing man too. So maybe I thought maybe throw under the slant and do some swing music.
Let's do it. I love this. I don't want the camera on me now. I want it on the man because I'm going to clap along and just enjoy this.
Okay, well, what's Bobby Darin famous for?
I know loads.
What's his song?
Splish Splash.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, I was having
Mac the Knife.
Mac the Knife. But the film was called?
Oh, now you caught me now.
Beyond.
Oh, Beyond the Sea. We're doing this. We're doing this in the big band.
Oh wow, what a great song.
We're without any fans of the big band now. Stay tuned because there is a bit of a surprise coming up later on. We'll let you know. But here is Brendan McCahey, finalist of The Voice of Ireland. Letting it swing. If you I can't put it any other way. Charlie, can you do that?
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sand and watches the ships that go sailing, sailing somewhere beyond the sea. She's there waiting for me. If I could fly like birds on high and straight to her arms, I'd go sailing. It is far beyond the stars, it is near beyond the moon. I know beyond the doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We will meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We're gonna kiss just as before, and happy we'll be beyond the sea. While never again will I go sailing. Hey! I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. Well, we will meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We're gonna kiss just as before, and happy we'll be beyond the sea. Why never again will I go sailing? No more sailing, bye sailing, so long sailing. No
My God. My God. Now, not only did he sing it and take up that note and do all this fancy singing bit, and then you put in that blah, 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 at the end.
Showing
What?
off, right?
What? Well, show off. You do it, man. You do it because you...
But you know the funny thing is when you're in that moment, Paul, that you do that, you know.
No, you're fucking brilliant. That's it. No, nobody can get up and just do that. Oh, it slipped out. Sorry about that. I'm allowed one. I'm allowed one F word, and that's it for tonight.
It was.
That's it. But swing music.
Amazing.
You love it. Big band. And
Very much so.
Well, look, here it is. The big band are playing in the Rama Theatre this Friday and Saturday night. And, God willing, and everything else. Brendan will be making a guest appearance on the Saturday night. Is that right?
Most certainly, yes.
Yes,
Paul.
Brendan will be there on the Saturday night now. What he's going to be doing, we're not allowed to say, but we're going to have a wee competition. And if you can guess what song Brendan is going to sing on the night, you can email it into us. Let's Stick Together by Brian Ferry competition. Right, here's that's the big band there. Look at that. Look,
Wow.
But there's I think there's about 6. Gary Burns. Now, Brendan, you're going to know a lot of these people now when you go up to win. And I think there is 6 missing. There could be 8 missing. Yeah, I think there's about 8 missing. So.
6, 7.
Well, straight after the show this evening, himself and Brendan are going down to rehearsals, and we're going to have a bit of crack down there as well. Brendan, what's the story in RTE with The Voice? What's the story? Are they saying, "Oh man, this buzz is serious"? Do they agree that it's?
Well, I suppose the thing about RTE is, and I can understand the point of view, and actually anyway, not only theirs, but anyone's point of view, like it's a competition, but you don't want anyone to be seen as being canvassing too much for one side as well. And RTE couldn't really. I know I am their 2 FM wildcard, but still they want to keep it fair as well for everybody too, because it would be an unfair advantage for me and for them to be plugging me too much as well. And I'd like that the winner of the Voice of Ireland would be a fair winner, would be a deserving winner, as opposed to somebody who has just done it purely maybe on votes as well, because votes you can rig all that as well. But really that it's about the singer at the end of the day.
The winner has to come through as a. How do you get on with the other contestants?
I get on very well. Even I know Laura May so well, you know that.
Of course,
And she's
say hello to her there. Say, I know she's going to watch.
Hello, Laura May. How's it going? And myself and Laura, actually, we all get on very well, and that's the truth. Because singers are very like-minded people, and they're quiet. There are a few exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, they're very calm and quiet people anyway, and they just give it out on stage, like Laura May.
An alter ego, yeah? Oh, we've had Laura May in here, and she's exactly the same. She's very quiet.
She's quiet, but on stage she's a belter. She really is, yeah.
She sang fantastic last week.
Oh, she really did, and deserving of a place in the final. Yeah. That's the thing about it too.
What's the? Are you allowed to tell us what you're doing? We know that you're doing Celebrate because it's in the general media.
Yes, and then
how did that come about?
Well, the producers of the show had contacted 4 Irish artists who had big hits in Ireland over the years, and they asked them would they come on the show and sing. So it's 4 lads, 4 different bands. When you see them, you know them. Right. Yeah. Of course, Celebrate is none other than Jerry Fish and himself.
Fantastic.
From Emotional Fish too.
Yes.
And there are 3 others, obviously.
Well, we're not.
I can't. I wouldn't want to spoil it in anybody, because sometimes when you say something, it's only Sunday, and it's just nice to have the anticipation for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we will do a group song together as well.
So how many songs altogether will you be doing?
I would sing 3 songs.
3 songs, right?
Yes. And then I'd say we'll be doing singing 2 songs, and then we'll come to the voting. Voting lines are open at the start of the show this weekend as well, and then the lines will close, and then it'll be down. They'll choose the final 2 then after that, and then we'll see what happens.
Will you be nervous?
Paul, I suppose I do be nervous. Yeah, anxious maybe is another word, because over the years of playing, I've learned how to harness or control that sort of nerves that happens too, so that I can get the best out of a performance. And so I do be nervous, but I kind of push it down and try to relax myself beforehand as well.
But you always look very, very relaxed, very in control.
Yeah, I think nerves are a brilliant thing, and if you can control them like that.
Oh yeah.
Because funny enough, with nerves, it can make you hit better notes as well if you can control it. You know? It lets you let go a bit as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic too. Because a lot of big singers can't control it.
Yeah, it's
Barbra Streisand's notorious.
My goodness.
Physically sick before she goes on.
My goodness.
4 seconds before she goes on, she just cannot. And once they get on, the alter ego takes over.
That's amazing.
It's just.
Yeah, I some man was telling me the same story, but not about physically getting sick, but really an alter ego, as in Bruce Springsteen as well. That to play for 3 hours, you have to be in another place. You really couldn't. Not the physical show that he puts in. It's just. It's not humanly possible at his age. It's not
craziness.
Yeah,
it's absolutely mad. Barbra Streisand's after emailing in.
Oh, good girl.
Look, Barbara, I read it, right? I read it on Wikipedia, right? So, I can't believe that. It's not WikiLeaks, it's Wikipedia. So, yeah. Brendan, what format is the show? One song?
I'd say it'll start off, normally the format is start off as a group song.
But do you get an interview or anything like that? Or is there an in-depth thing? Or?
There might be, well, this week actually there was a little visit around to all the houses too, so I'm sure they'll show that as well.
We'll say nothing. We'll say nothing.
Our lips are sealed.
But I do know that there's somebody you need to say hello to, and that's Noah, who helped.
Yes.
Yeah.
My little boy. He's a genius. And my beautiful wife Marion as well. I gotta say hello.
Marion, Noah, I asked Brendan to bring you here this evening. Right, is that right, Brendan?
You asked me just 10 minutes ago.
Well, I still asked you, didn't I?
Before the interview started. Good man, Paul. Thanks, yeah.
I said, well, look, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Okay.
If you win
Okay.
the Voice of Ireland,
Mm-hmm.
we'll bring you down here for a party.
Okay.
We'll have a special celebration show.
Great.
If we can get Brezzy and Laura May and all the rest of them, brilliant crack, we'll have a celebration in Cavantv.
I think we should have Natty because that could be a really good party of that.
But just crazy. and video the whole lot. That would be absolutely amazing. Can we squeeze one more song out of you?
Of course you can. Where are we going?
Your
now, Paul?
choice, absolutely your choice, because I know it's going to be something totally random again. Because
Okay.
you blew me away with Beyond the Sea, La Mer.
La Mer.
Ah, see.
That's very true. Very
La
true.
Mer.
It's right from a French song.
Yes,
That's very true.
La Mer. Beyond the Sea. Written by the French Beach Boys. Le Garçons de la Plage.
Ah. Le Garçons de la Plage. That's
from
good.
that's from the Ruttles. I have to tell you, that's from the Ruttles. I didn't make that up. That's the Ruttles. That's Eric Idle wrote that, not me.
Well, that's a brilliant transition. We'll do the Beach Boys song. What about that? Well, of one of the best albums that I've ever heard, it has to be Pet Sounds.
Right,
A wonderful album by the Beach Boys. Pure, very sonically amazing. Wonderful songs. The arrangements were, well, from another world, I think.
Absolutely.
And this is probably one of the standout tracks, in my opinion, on the album.
Do you think, Brendan, do you think that Brian Wilson, Paul McCartney, John Lennon, the Beatles, all that, were they the classical composers of our age?
Most certainly.
In
Because
300 years' time, are people going to be saying, "Oh, you've got to study Lennon and McCartney. You've got to study."
I think people already are, Paul.
Yeah, they are.
I know
Rock there,
certainly
aren't
for me, I would have gone through all that catalogue of the Beatles and the Beach Boys and indeed David Bowie as well, to understand where it is and to understand how the composition of music. I think a lot of people already, there have been plenty of books written about Lennon and McCartney and their structures and the comparisons, because only George Martin taught them classical music in his own way, and they were classical musicians playing pop music.
Fantastic. Brendan McCahey is going to do the Beach Boys first.
I may not always love you, as long as there are stars above you. You'd never need to doubt me. I'd make you so sure about me. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, my life will still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me. So
just witnessed Brendan McCahey doing a Beach Boys song with just a guitar and sounding like all the Beach Boys. Brendan, that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much.
The very, 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 very best of luck.
You're very kind, Paul. Thank you.
We're very confident for you, but it's up to you now to appeal to the masses. And
Yes.
you can do your thanks now as well, and I know it's impossible to thank everybody.
That's very true, Paul, and really and truly, Cavantv is where it starts. But all my wonderful support and my friends and family who've been helping me put up posters and go around the country and rally behind me as well. I really, really appreciate all you have. All the people who voted and text in, spending all their money, hard earned. Thank you as well, and I hope to do you justice. Thanks very much again, everybody.
Fantastic. Brendan McCahey, ladies and gentlemen, and don't forget, watch him on Sunday, and of course, best luck to Laura May and all the other contestants.